Their upper lip is so defined. Oh my God, gross.
I don't react to death the way other people react to it, but I react to different things very emotionally. What is up, guys?
And welcome back to Not Your Daddies.
We are back. Our very first episode of the year. We're actually behind a week because we were supposed to take just 1 week off and then come back on the second week. But, you know, some personal stuff happened and...
Which we're going to get into.
Yeah, we will get into it throughout the episode. But we couldn't. But now I think we're back. I think it's been a long break.
The tape is on your forehead.
Can you see? Oh, that's what I can see. I was like, why is my thing so shiny?
I mean, I don't think you could have seen it, but at probably different angles.
So I wear this tape on my forehead because I have these two lines right in between my eyebrows that I get all the time. There's an ornament. And I forgot to take it off because, I was going to take it off before this. But no, it's off and...
Your secrets revealed.
My beauty secrets revealed. I actually wear them. I put them here, and then I put them here because I get creases when I sleep. But then we bought some silk pillow shams or pillow cases. What are the pillowcases?
Pillowcases. They're silk or satin pillowcases. Apparently, they're supposed to help you reduce the wrinkles on your face or face lines, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Some people call them face lines, some people call them wrinkles. It is what it is. I think it's because I honestly think Eric's problem is, or situation, when he falls asleep, he really knocks out. So he puts all his weight, like it's just like dead body weight. So like his whole face is smushed into the pillow and he moves around. So it's like this all the time.
The thing is that we got new pillows. Well, and they're not new anymore, but we changed pillows a few months back. And I haven't been able to sleep how I normally sleep with them because I feel like my head is like sunk into the pillow. I used to sleep with two pillows in one like pillowcase, and it made it so firm. And now I used to sleep like this, and now I have to like tuck the pillow inside, like in between my elbow and my head, and then like it's like a whole thing.
I don't know what it is about those pillows that they just got really ugly right away.
I know I don't like them, and we still haven't
literally have to like squish them around, like fluff them all the time, and then like when I go to sleep, I had to like, this is the headboard, I had to like smush it in there like dough, and then fall asleep because they're so soft. People probably like just buy new ones, but yeah, it's been so hard to look for good ones.
We've looked for new ones, especially. I mean, every time we kind of go anywhere like Walmart or whatever, I'm always kind of feeling the pillows to see if there's something new, but no.
Target, Ross, Burlington, but I mean, you name it, we constantly look for them. I mean, it's not really about the price because we already said like we need to stop being cheap about some stuff and just invest into good things, especially when it comes to the bedroom. You know, good sheets, good pillows. It's gonna.
Our stuff isn't cheap.
You know, but sometimes we're like, oh, this one's good. It's like, well, get something better. But anyways, yeah, we like firm pillows, and that's the end of that. but I think you're avoiding the inevitable. What you want to do is just get Botox. I
do want to get a Botox. I'm going to get Botox. I'm going to bring you guys on that journey, but it's going to be soon. I just kind of save up to it because I've been asking around. It's like $400, and I don't know how long it is. I think it's like, I don't know. It lasts for a couple of months.
It all the price really comes down to obviously the place, because if it's more well known, they're going to charge you more. That's just a given. The units, how many units you're going to need or want, and then I think it also comes down to the type of Botox. I know there's like different brands out there, and they all do different things. They all last differently. They're all used for different things in the face. So I think it's just going to have to make sure you come down to the right one.
Yeah.
I would like two things if it's possible. Like a little lip flip. It's called a lip flip because it's not like lip filler. It's just kind of like around the edges, and like I guess it swells up your lips, so it like kind of brings out the rim of your lip up, so it makes it look like you have bigger lips. That's dumb, but I like it. And then I don't know if it's one or two things in the same one, but I have really bad dark circles, guys, and it is a lot to do with sleep. I'll say that, but I think it's hereditary because from my dad's side, because I feel like a lot of people on my dad's family have dark circles. And I know there's like a treatment one of our friends did, and it helped a lot, but it's really expensive. But apparently, and I've seen other people do it too. So that's something I'll need to hold up.
I think it is hereditary because it is in our genes also, because everybody in our family has them as well. Like I have them, my sister has them, my nieces have them, and she's only like 11. She just turned 11, and she has them. So we all have them. So I think it is part of.
I mean, I think
like,
it's
your
inevitable. You can only do certain amount of self-health care stuff to yourself, little eye creams and little pads and cucumbers and the little coolers and all that stuff. But I feel like
help us enhance it. I think would be.
Anything to help us enhance it would be really great. So those would be the two things. So next time you see me, like,
I did say when you were saying I had two things, I was like, and that's exactly what you said.
Eyes, yeah.
I do want to get a little lip plump, like on my lip. The bottom I think is okay, just kind of a little bit, but the top one I feel is like so in. It's like heart shaped, but it's like inwards. There. So I just kind of want to just a little bit.
Yeah. Your upper lip is so defined. Oh my god, gross. Your upper lip is so defined. So I feel like you would benefit more from the bottom the top than the bottom.
Yeah.
To balance it out. So next time you guys are gonna see us all zhuzhed.
All botched.
Don't say that. Like, ándale, por andar ahí
de calientes.
Que se quería hacer Botox.
Yeah, I'm honestly, I am scared. The only thing I'm scared about the whole lip thing is that they're gonna be hard.
Yeah, because
I have soft lips, so
we know people that have had lip fillers and whatever. Some people have really nice ones, and they all look nice. Period. Some people overdo it, but nonetheless, some people have it like soft, and then some people that we know, it feels like they have like a little piece of plastic inside, and I know that could be scarring.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, so it really just depends. Everybody's body's different. If you go to some botched doctor in the middle of, in the back alley, that's another thing to take into consideration. And it also, I know a lot of takes into consideration how many units you do. So if you go overboard all at once, I mean, you're literally just stretching your lips. So that could be a situation.
Yeah.
And maybe the type of filler that you're using. So you have to do your homework.
I guess there's a lot of factors to look into.
Yeah, you have to
right?
There's a lot of factors. We have a friend who's getting registered, so I'm excited. I hope she.
I know. I already told her. I messaged her and I said, I commented on her story and I was like, I'll be one of your guinea pigs and I will do it. Mm-hmm. So for sure, my forehead. That's like number one.
I think that's like your number one thing. If you could just do one, I think that's for sure the thing you would do. Your forehead.
That's the number one thing.
Eric's gonna be like, I'm laughing. You're like this. All stiff.
Look at me, I'm mad at you. But the cold weather has already officially hit Texas.
Yes.
South
so
Texas.
All week and a little bit of last weekend, it's been pretty cold, guys. Like it got for us, a daily basis, anywhere between 85 to 100 in the winter.
Yes.
But lately it just kind of dropped down to 70s, the 60s, 50s. And all this week it's been
40s and 30s.
50 and all the way to 38, I think it was the other night.
36, I think.
36, 38. And then the weather says it's 41, but feels 30 something because of the wind. It's nice. I just don't like the rain.
I don't like the rain. And I think for the past 2 days we've been getting rain throughout the day.
Yeah.
But the drizzle turns into heavy drizzle, not a heavy rain, but a heavy drizzle. So it kind of piles up. And then we have pets outside. So I really love that. And this is really a good tip for you guys because I didn't know. And yesterday, Pete went to buy those shades for the cars, cut it in half, and he put it in the outside cat's house.
I was doing a little bit of homework because we were looking at the news and the weather apps, and it said it was going to drop really cold last night, which it did. It really did. So I told Eric, let's go. We were busy doing stuff here and at the venue. Story of our lives, right? Everybody's like, that's all they ever do. But I was like, let's go to Walmart real quick. It was literally 10:30. We had 30 minutes to go, and luckily it's close by. I rushed to the back in the auto department stuff where all that stuff is. And I had an idea, and I was Googling on the way there. I'm like, I hope this works. So yeah, I told Eric, we just bought those little sun reflectors, the ones that fold up and they're long and they look like bubble wrap in foil. Mm-hmm. So I bought the cheapest one, just plain Jane, no design. And we got some extra fleece, the cheap little fleece blankets, because they're always on sale during the wintertime. And we have
only like $5?
they're $4, like three something.
yeah.
I feel like at least in our area, they always have them in those bins because people know that they buy them for the pets, so they just kind of throw them in there. So our outdoor cat Ray, which used to be an indoor cat, and the little back outdoor patio area that we have, he's a little bit more well off because he has his little house. It's really good. Just want to give him a little extra protection. So what I did was cut it in half, and then I just kind of molded it into the top of the roof, in the inside roof of the little cat house. And then I organized his little new blanket. He already had blankets. He already had everything there, just a little extra precaution. And to my surprise, I was like, pat on my back. It actually worked, guys. So I checked him last night before going to bed, and I know how cats are, especially cats. They're a little bit very cautious about changes and anything new. And I'm like, I hope this thing doesn't like collapse and make a big old fuss in the middle of the night. And I just had all these little things going in my head. But I put my hand in there to pet him. Oh my God, it felt really warm in there,
so
like his
warm.
home body heat. So the purpose is the body heat goes up and it traps it in there because it's, the foil.
Yeah, I put my hand in there and it was super warm in there. Before you guys say anything, like why bring him inside or whatever, he will not come inside. He was an indoor cat since we got him. We got him as a baby, but then over time he's wanted to go outside little by little.
2 years that he's been in now?
Outside. Well, now just outside, but he would go in and out just towards to the backyard with the dogs and then come back in. Then one day he just all of a sudden didn't want to come back in. He comes in and he'll hiss at all the cats, and then he'll be here, no joke, no more than 5 minutes, and he'll start crying at the door to go outside. And then before he would start peeing on everything, and I think because he was I think he was frustrated of being in here. Now he just looks at us through the window thinking like, oh, they're trapped inside and I'm out here. Yeah. The only thing he cries about is having the dogs out there with him because he's so close to them. And that's it. I mean, I feel like he's really good because he doesn't go anywhere.
He just wanders around the backyard. That's literally his life, just wandering around.
I feel like he's our security guard, like just
If you were to show you like the cameras in the backyard, it just says backyard animal activity, and he just like patrolling, like doing a whole round, and then a couple minutes later again, and like later on in the night again.
Yeah, and then there's this other because he's an orange cat, and then there's another orange cat. He's a stray,
like a true stray,
but he's usually in the front yard, and at night he'll come to the back, and at first he would fight with Ray, but now I think
so. We'd always like scare him off.
So, but now I think Ray just kind of lets him eat his food, like lay on his bed and all of that, and it's like, dude,
he doesn't go inside the bed.
Not anymore, but he has before.
Oh, he has. Oh, I hadn't seen him do that.
Yeah, so that's the only thing that I was scared of, like being afraid to be cold, where the other orange cat was going to come and try to take his bed because he's done that before. But no, I think we're good.
And then in the front entryway of the house, I always have a little cat house, dog house, whatever, a small one in the front area, like in a little nook that nobody can see for the outdoor cats in case it's raining or whatever. But since it's been so cold, I brought it here to the front, almost in the entryway of the door. And I was reading, like I mentioned, you're not supposed to have any cat houses outside, especially the cat houses a little bit elevated on top of something, whether it's like a cardboard, a board, anything like that, just so it's not having direct contact with the floor, especially cement, because it's gonna like just keep it cold. So I tried a few things, it wasn't working. So what I did was just put our doormat there with like a rug, like a little old towel to give it some warmth. And then that house has like a bunch of blankets in there. I bought a new one, put that one in there, and the same thing. I took the lid off. I shaped the reflector there, put it back on, and then I wrapped it with like two other towels. And then I always call it like a little curtain. So I bring one of the towels in the front of the little doorway, just enough so they can see that they can go in there in case they're scared, but enough where it's going to go ahead and cover most of it. Because if not, the air is going to keep going in there. And once again, it worked perfectly. One of the outdoor cats, she's been so cozy in there. So we try our best to try to.
I know, and I actually
keep everybody safe.
Didn't think about it hadn't dawned on me about the cement keeping the house.
Yeah,
cold.
I didn't think about that either.
Because I mean, this is the first year that we actually do that under the house. Because every year we'll cover it and all that, but never thought about the bottom part.
Or in the rain, we'll cover it too, and stuff like that.
And it makes so much sense because maybe that's why they weren't going in before because it was so cold.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. So, but now
we're crazy crap. crazy cat people.
Crazy cat people.
And then our dogs, of course, just come inside. And, if it's raining, they come inside to the kennel. If it's cold, they come inside the kennel.
Yeah.
They won't make a peep, especially when it's cold.
They'll be here all day.
Like, I will hold my bladder all day because I don't want to go outside. But, of course, we have to take them out.
Sometimes I feel like they pretend they're asleep when we walk in.
They do that all the time.
Because we have a camera in the cat's room. Well, we got to the cat's room because it's basically the cat's room. But the dog kennel's in there. We see them and they're like, I want to, quote unquote, dog chatting. But then we walk in and they're like asleep and it's like,
Yeah, like they're peeking their eye open like, don't
like,
bother.
please don't take us outside.
So,
but I mean, the weather's been good for
been
us
nice,
so far. So we like the. I love cold weather more than hot weather because I don't like sweating. But I just don't like the rain. Like Pete said, like he doesn't like the rain either. Are you a hot weather person, or a winter person? I'm
becoming more of a cold weather person. Just because honestly, down here it gets excessively hot. Like there's no break from the heat unless you're inside. And we like to do outdoor things, but sometimes it's just too crazy. Either you wake up super duper early, because by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, all the way to 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Like if you're outside, either you better be slathered in SPF or shaded, or just be very careful because it is excessively hot down here where we live. Like it's crazy hot.
And now we can wear I love my outfits. It's like the layers. So I like my winter outfits, and I'm wearing my coats and walking off thinking I'm hot stuff. And then getting cozy. Speaking of cozy, Pete found this amazing blanket. Oh yeah, we're all about Wicked right now, and look at it. Oh my gosh, and you will never guess how much it was for. This was only $3 at Walmart. I think they
originally priced it was like 15, 14.
I think it was like 15.
And I scanned it just out of curiosity to see how much it was going to come out to, and I'm like, oh. No, I kept looking around for the Glinda one, but we couldn't find it.
I know. Hopefully, we'll find one.
It was only that one. This only one that we saw.
That's what I like about our Walmart is that they have so much stuff in the back that sometimes they forget. So they'll bring it out and it's directly to clearance. This wasn't in the clearance section. It was I don't know where, but Pete picked it up and then we scanned it and coincidentally it was on clearance.
Is it the regular price and it's slashed to $3? I'm like, we're taking it.
And we're always at that Walmart, so we kind of walk all the aisles just looking and browsing, and there's a lot of stuff that was like, hey, they didn't have this before, like specifically
they didn't have this earlier, 2 hours ago.
2 hours ago, specifically in the aisles that we go to, like the toy section and all of that. So there's stuff that's like we know specifically that we're looking for. It's like, hey, they didn't have this, but now it's in the clearance section. So
I keep looking at myself. I look real chubby, like as of like.
No, you don't.
Since I'm Indian.
Is that the medium one or the small?
It's the small one. Oh, it's the small one.
I was saying, yeah. No, it looks good.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't bother me.
Chubby?
But I feel like because the way we're so cozy,
I feel like
you see all these little wrinkles.
I just feel like I've lost weight. That's a good thing.
Been going to the gym. So things that have changed since we were back online. We've just been ranting about the pets. A few things happened, good and bad. We had a really good Christmas. We had our family here. That was not a problem. My mom didn't join us this time because she all of a sudden forgot. But it's okay because she made plans with my aunt they were just having a chill day because there's been some family health situations going on over there. So I understood that. But it was weird not having her here because every year she's always here.
She's always here. This is the first year that she's not.
She's always here.
Us.
She was always with us for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Sometimes, which is rare, like we'll have a family thing for New Year's, but usually she'll spend New Year's with my aunt or my sister, and that's usually what she does for New Year's. But always she's always with us for Christmas for sure, and Thanksgiving. So it was a little weird, but yeah, we had some good gifts. I'm sure you guys saw. We shared.
I hope you guys saw.
We hope you guys saw.
We hope you.
I got my iPad that I wanted. Thank goodness. I've been trying to use it here and there, and then Eric got his. What is it called? DJ Pocket.
Yeah, the Osmo. Osmo Pocket. Oh my God, it's an amazing.
Guys, if you're starting off doing content, or if you just want a cool little camera to do whatever, it's expensive. We're not gonna lie, but it is so worth every penny. The quality is super clear. it's so discreet because it's literally like the size of a little remote control, and you just
Yeah.
flip the camera, and nobody would even know that you even have a camera with
Yeah.
you. You can put it on a table. Like if you're kind of shy about having a camera in public, and it's so easy. Like I can't say so much about it.
Yeah,
It's really really good,
I love it because
and it's a stabilizer as well. So
because of that.
yeah, so like if you, I don't know, maybe I'm just getting old or whatever, but my hands are always shaky, not like crazy, but if I'm trying to record a video for like our venue, I have to go back and in the editing software put like the stabilizer to adjust it, because if not, it just looks like all shaky.
No, and then sometimes we've vlogged about like when we've gone like on hikes and stuff, and we're walking and the camera's so shaky.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to do that with
I
the
didn't think about that
Osmo, because we walk and it's just literally just so smooth and it's
Super
so
smooth.
tiny, and we can just kind of attach it or whatever. Oh, I love it. I
I
cannot
told
wait.
Eric I'm gonna
Yeah.
try it out, like with the actual, like me jogging, like full force jogging, to see how stable it's gonna
It's like-
be. The Blair Witch, but yeah, that was a really cool thing. And then he got something else, but that was like a couple days ago, which he'll share with you.
That was
guys
not a
later.
Christmas gift. That was
Yeah.
like a little like.
He's
Thanks for
trying
being
to-
awesome myself.
He's trying to upgrade his equipment and
Yeah.
get rid of the old stuff.
Yeah, I haven't opened it on purpose because I want to make a video on it.
Review
But my God,
When he
I
opens it,
cannot
I'm
wait.
like, "Can I borrow it?"
And we're like, no. But,
What else happened?
And then the sad part, some sad things that happened was my grandma passed away.
Mm-hmm.
I did mention it in a previous video. My grandma passed away, and actually that's the reason for this video. No, that's the topic for this video.
That was on the 31st.
yeah,
literally like 2 hours into the 31st.
Yes. So I know she'd been sick for a while, and my mom was the one who was always taking care of her and always
That was her
going
daily
to see her.
routine.
Yeah, that was part of my mom's daily routine. So I know it's going to be hard for her now to kind of change it up, because it was always my grandma lived in a nursing home, but my mom was always there. She always took treats for all the nurses. She always took them little gifts.
Go visit
and,
her.
she would visit my grandma and
Daily,
Mhm, like-
at least an hour or two a day, which is more. Some people, it's like a mutual thing that a lot of us think about. It's really sad when you go to the nurse. We would go visit her periodically, not as often as my mother-in-law, but periodically for special occasions, her birthday, whatever. And we were just there not too long ago as well, I believe. But anywho, it's really sad and unfortunate situation when people are in a nursing home, because they do get forgotten about by their families. Like nobody goes and visits them. I
Yeah,
think your
they truly do.
grandma was probably one of the most, if not the most visited person, whether it's my mother-in-law or other family members, but she had visitors probably weekly, daily. And it's really sad just to know that some people just get tossed in there and they just
And they
literally
just-
shut the door and
Yeah.
don't go bother. And that's really sad. It's depressing to think about it.
I know when we were there, the times that we've gone, I know that they've told us that there's some people that don't get any visits.
And you can see their little faces like
yeah.
light up, just like seeing if you might say hi to them, or just see. I guess they get some joy out of seeing people out of the ordinary that they don't normally see there.
I know it's unfortunate. So if you ever have a chance to, I want to call it, donate your time to go visiting. I know they have programs where you can go visit, and it's quote unquote like charity programs that
Anything, I think.
you can go.
I mean, if you have a family member, guys,
visit them.
visit them once a week. You don't know how much of a change how much happiness that will bring somebody, regardless of whatever situation you have going on with them. Just go visit them an hour. That's nothing out of a 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. Like 1 hour, that'll be such a big change for them.
It will.
And if you have the funds to do it, like we were thinking of doing that next time, or we were thinking of doing that before, is taking them, like, you can take them little gifts from Dollar Tree. Like, they're so appreciative of anything, like little socks, some like sugar-free candy, because they're older.
Like just like some,
Little
I don't
things.
deodorants or like little
people don't
body
get that.
sprays and like little stuff that I know that they would appreciate. And yeah, like you said, like little, like maybe depending of who it is and whatever, little sugar-free candies or some cookies or just personal items, like maybe like a little blouse or like little nightgowns. I think nightgowns would be
They love their
good.
blankets. For
Blankets.
Sure.
I mean, we just said like blankets are very inexpensive, so maybe something like that would be good for us to do, for everybody to do, not just for us, but like for everybody to do.
Can't forget about our older
I know
community, because
and then us, our moms are getting older, so I think it's something that now we think about, where it's like,
More.
okay, I mean, this is at some point it's going to be us, with our parents, and it's a difficult situation or to see, and then even more to know that you're going to go through it as well. And then which brings us to like our main topic of the day, which is grieving. Like grieving somebody, like not how to grieve, but how everybody else or how everybody grieves differently. I think we've all lost somebody in our lives.
whether it's a parent, grandparent,
Yeah.
sibling, other family members, friends, pets. Because pets too.
Yeah,
I would definitely consider that.
I grieve our pets, and we all. I just want to say, like, I want to start off by saying, like, kind of respect the way people grieve, because nobody grieves the same, and don't expect somebody to react the way you would react to a situation when somebody passes, or with the way they grieve, because some of us don't know how to feel and how to react or how to act when it comes to grieving, as opposed to other people are easier to show it.
Some people are more emotional. Other people are more closed off. But yeah, I feel like a few things, like Eric mentioned, everybody's going to react differently to a situation. Some people were closer to that person, so they obviously have a more of attachment. And even if they are close, maybe, they're not that type of person where they're just going to show it off. Maybe they do it in privately, or, sometimes you just don't get a reaction out of them, and that's totally fine as well.
Yeah.
I think to worry about more how you want to take it, how you want to handle the situation, and everybody else can just do their own thing. I just think don't ever tell somebody not to cry. Be quiet. Like don't make them let them have their emotions, go through it, and that's fine. And if you don't know what to say to them, I mean, literally just sometimes being there,
Just
quiet, letting them cry. Some people don't like that, but if they don't say not to be there, then just be there quietly, and maybe eventually, they'll open up to you and just listen. That's all you can ever do is just listen to somebody.
I feel like just how somebody wouldn't expect somebody to say, "Oh, well, I'm not going to cry over this," or don't, I don't know. Then don't expect another person to not cry over it. Like somebody's going to grieve. There's people that will grieve a loss for years, or maybe sometimes forever.
Forever.
And you can't really tell a person how to feel just because you don't want them to feel
There's no
way.
time frame.
Yeah, and it kind of works both ways. Like, I have heard before where it's like, well, they were so and so passed away and they didn't even cry. Like, I was like, well, how do you know? One, how do you know they didn't cry? Maybe they didn't cry in public, or yes, maybe they didn't cry, but they didn't feel like they needed. Maybe that's not how they show their emotions. They don't need to cry. I personally, I feel like I'm a over emotional person when it comes to things like this. Sorry, camera cut off. readjusting.
And I took the opportunity to get 2 beverages.
He said he took the opportunity to get 2 beverages. I consider myself to be a overly emotional person sometimes, but when it comes to situations of losing
Death.
somebody, I'm very closed off. Like, and because I don't know how to react in those situations. I've had my uncle pass away, and not that I wasn't sad. It's just I didn't know how to react in a public setting, and I know that it hurt my mom a lot, so I kind of felt like I had to be there for my mom. And then again, with my grandma, I felt it, and I felt sad for her, and I felt sad, for myself too, because like for our family, we lost our grandma, but I didn't feel how everybody was grieving it, or I couldn't I personally didn't understand it, like, on myself. Like it was harder for me to kind of show it in public. And I feel like I got some weird reactions for that at the funeral, which I'm not gonna get into it, but I kind of felt like people thought that I didn't care, but that's not the case. It's just, I mean, it's just I grieve differently, and I don't know how to react when it comes to things like this. But I don't want to say blame it, but I'm going to say is because back in 2006, like in 2006 or 2000 something, my mom was in the verge of she was in a coma, and then she was on the verge of like passing and all of that. So me at such a young age, everybody was telling me, you have to be strong, you cannot cry, because it was just me and my sister. And then, you have to be strong for Sophie. You can't show her that you're crying. And I had all these tias telling me that I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that. So then all that time I didn't react, and I was just kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. Yeah, I was waiting for the moment, and I was like, okay. And the doctors would call me at 3 a.m. At this point, I was, I don't know, like 20 years old or something, and or 21, and they're telling me, calling me at 3, 4 in the morning. You have to come in and you have to sign some papers because we're going to do this with your mom. You're going to do this and this and this. I mean, I don't know. I'm young. I didn't know what to do. So here I am driving to the hospital at 3 or 4 in the morning, trying to fill up all these papers. Meanwhile, I have my sister sleeping in the room, leaving her by herself. And it's like, I'm at the point where it's like, okay, I'm about to take care of this teenager because we're about to lose our mom. I have to be there for her. And I feel that always stuck with me because I don't react to death the way other people react to it, but I react to different things very emotionally. Like I will hear a song and I will cry. We just lost our pet and I cried like crazy because it felt like somebody ripped a piece out of my heart and I couldn't stop crying because she was our pet. She was our child. I'll when I talk to somebody, I'll start crying. If any speeches, I'll start crying. But when it comes to death itself, I can't cry. Like I don't. It doesn't come out. Like it does. I feel sad, but I don't cry, and it's just weird. I did break down with the whole situation with my mom back then. Like after she was home and I was talking to her, like I cried and I cried and I cried, just like telling her everything. But then I feel like all these other situations where it comes to death and funerals and stuff, it's just I can't. And then it kind of it's very worrisome because what if years from now, 30 years from now, 50 years from now, my mom passes, and then what if that happens again? Or like, what if that's because it's happened to every situation from then on. It's just, I don't know. It's just, it's weird. You react differently than I do, right?
Yeah. I try not to be crying for another person because, you want to be the stronger one for them or support, or you don't want to like kind of open the faucet more and, get their emotions rambling on. But yeah, being there that night, we got a phone call from my mother-in-law the 30th to, in case we wanted to go by, she wasn't looking too well. So we were literally about to eat dinner. I told her, let's eat real quick, just throw on whatever, some warm-ups and go.
I was actually wearing this.
Were you wearing that? Oh yeah, you were wearing that. And we met my sister-in-law there and one of her ex-cousins there. And we were just there for quite a while. And then, slowly but surely they had to go home because of their kids. So everybody left and we stayed there with my mother-in-law. And she kept telling us to leave and leave. But I had a feeling that if she did pass because of the condition she was in, my mother-in-law would not be the best situation to leave her there by herself and have to handle all that. Lack of sleep, being tired, being stressed, the emotion, and what if it happened at this time or this time. So I just told her, let's just wait. Even if we know nothing happens, we can just stay here all night into the early hours of the morning and go home and sleep. But yeah, eventually around 2:21, we said 2:21 in the morning is when she finally passed away.
Yeah.
And we were there. But yeah, I mean, throughout just seeing her, I never got to know her that well, just in a few moments the years we've been together here and there. But regardless, I mean, just seeing her in that situation, the state she was in, she had already really been she looked real fragile. And more than anything, we knew that she had been going through a lot the last few months. So it's really hard to say that to somebody, but there does come a time when you kind of just have to say, or, you know, she's at rest, she's at peace, she's no longer suffering, whatever any of those words are. Some people it's just empty words, but you know, in this situation she truly was in pain, probably the last month for sure. So it was in a way almost not better, I don't want to say better, but you know, her body was already at it's maxed out, and she's at rest. So that's a good thing that she's no longer in pain. She didn't leave this world suffering or, you know, other stuff, being mistreated. She was well taken care of. She was well loved. She was seen daily by somebody, by a family member, my mother-in-law. So, you know, it was just kind of very emotional to know that was going to happen and happen in front of your eyes, because it brought up when my dad passed away. I was about 14, and that day that it happened, I remember everybody that was there in the hospital room. He had cancer. He was already very, fragile as well. It was still his, good humor self. But it's just very seeing somebody you grew up with in a certain body type, meaning like, you know, he wasn't heavy, but, you know, he had a little beer belly. He was normal man, like, you know, just the life of the party from what I can remember, lovable, cheerful, and all that stuff. And over time, within the course of less than 2 years, like he literally looked like a skeleton at that point. And it was very sad to see him go deteriorate so quickly, but he still tried to keep his spirits up. Obviously he had his bad days. But that specific day, I believe it was on a Sunday or Saturday. I remember that because it was my grandmother, his mom, his sister, one of his sisters, my mom, and my sister who worked at the hospital. They were all there in his hospital room. My uncle, his brother, my brother, and myself had gone to visit him during the day, and then we were going to go to the flea market. We had just come back from the flea market, one or the other. We were there for a little while, and then we left, did our thing, went home, which is the three of us, and my mom and sister and everybody stayed there. And I don't recall if, in particular, they let him know that he might passing away. I don't think that was a conversation. I just think it kind of just led to it. But I do remember that he was kind of like shaving. Still, he wanted him to be shaved, so he was shaving himself, or they were helping him shave. I think they might have given him like a body bath or sponge bath there in the room. I felt like he was kind of preparing himself because he might have had a feeling. And then that night, I just remember my brother waking me up in the middle of the night, telling me to get up, get dressed, that we're going to go to the hospital. And as soon as that was happening, like we got in the car, and it was a little bit of a drive because we lived over here, kind of close to where we live now, but we were living in a different area. And we were just driving, and all I could see, the expressway, all the lights, and I was just looking out the window thinking to myself, like, I know he passed away. It's not going to be good news. Or he's passing away. It's not going to be good news. I was just so nervous. And then we got to the hospital. We went up the elevator. We're going down the hallway. And I can already just hear them crying in the room. And I didn't want to go in there. Like, I know my brother went in there. My uncle went in there. He had already passed. But I kind of just stepped out and went down the hallway looking out like a big window that they had in there for a little while. And I don't remember if it was my sister who came to get me, but they, went to get me, just saying like my last words to him. And it was just so sad because he looked like he was sleeping, obviously, but it's just a very weird experience situation. And I think he had just passed away, like obviously within the hour that we had took us to get there, or less maybe. But yeah, it brought a lot of memories back to me. being in that situation with Eric's grandma. But and that's specifically why I wanted us to stay there, because I couldn't imagine being in that situation and being alone, like just handling all that by myself. It would be, I feel like, very heavy on me, mentally, emotionally, and my heart, just having to deal with that. And the number one thing I kept remembering out of the whole experience with my father, and that's why I knew we needed to be there for my mother-in-law at that time, was once the doctors go in there, they pronounce them dead, and they do what they have to do, and blah 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 blah. I mean, there's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Like, you literally just leave, and it feels so weird. So, like, it just feels like almost like you don't care, because you're just leaving their body there, but there's nothing else to do. Like, you have to go home. You have to just go sleep, shower. Get your mind not get your mind off of it, but kind of just snap out of it.
Because there's a lot.
You feel so bad, like, that their body, especially if they're in that that fragile situation. Like, you just feel like they're so, like, you're just abandoning them. That's the word I'm looking for. Like, you feel like you're just abandoning them, and it's just.
And then there's still a whole process that you have to. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. No. I don't want to interrupt you, but can you scoot a little bit this way? There. And there's like a whole process that you still need to go through where it's like, okay, I still can't grieve because I still have to go through the funeral stuff, through funeral arrangements and everything. So
unless you have somebody handling that.
Yeah, it's like an immediate thing like that you have to do, because we did it the day after. And it was day. Yeah, and the day that we were at the nursing home with my grandma and my mom did say, you guys can go home. Everybody can go home. I'm going to sleep here, because I don't think she's gonna survive. And they told her that they didn't think she was gonna survive the night. So, which was it was true. She didn't. And I think I would have felt so much guilt leaving my mom there, because my whole existence would be just to kind of protect my mom. I mean, I want to be there for her, because I mean, she I knew she was going to take it hard, and she has been taking it hard, very, very difficult, but it has been very difficult for her. She's been taking it hard, but that night, it was different. I kind of, throughout the entire night, I kind of stayed in the background, and just kind of let everybody, grieve and like be with my grandma, and I just kind of stood I never kind of, for like a whole an hour and a half, I was just kind of standing against the wall, thinking of so many things that needed to be done afterwards, like, for my mom and all of this. So this whole situation is happening, obviously, with my grandma, but I'm in my head, the only thing that I'm thinking of is, okay, I need to be there for my mom, which I'm actually very grateful for my sister, because she's been there for her a lot. I actually feel like she's been there for my mom more than I have. And it's sad to say, but that's how I feel. But at least somebody's with her, But throughout the time that we were there, I wasn't gonna get close to my grandma, get close to her physically. I just kind of felt a little weird. But then towards the end, I was holding her hand while, I guess, through her last moments. Because my mom, it was so difficult for her to be like right there with her. I just felt like somebody needed to be like holding her. And that is the very first time in my life that I've actually seen somebody pass. And it is not easy to process. And I don't think I fully processed it yet. But I am 150% glad that we stayed there, because my mom would have been by herself. With everything, like that night. And I'm glad for Pete for being there, with us, and lending that shoulder for my mom, also. So it's just a harder process that she's going to go through now, where it's like a different routine, like we mentioned earlier, because she has her daily routine that kind of revolves around everybody else rather than herself. But then I feel there's gonna come a time where she's gonna things are gonna shift for her, where it's just like, okay, I'm gonna try to focus more on this. Like, I want to really want to convince her to join a gym close by. She doesn't want to, and even
it's
if
literally down the street from her
it's
house. It'll be
literally
so
down
good
the
for
street.
her.
It's like a mile away from her
Yeah.
house. And I want to. I wasn't going to join this gym, but I think I want to. I wanted to do it just so that we can take her with us, even if we have to pay for it. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I want to pay for
It's
it.
nothing really.
And
It's expensive.
yeah, and I want us to have her change a little routine, or more than anything, because aside from grieving my grandma, she has so many things going on in her life that I feel like she needs, with this new year, I want to help her kind of shift that into just all these positive things and positive energies that we need to also. I think we've been doing pretty good
Yeah,
so
we've
far.
been doing really good with the gym.
Yeah. And anything. I think
Yeah.
we're shifting our mentality and shifting our surroundings to kind of make things positive for us. Because
I saw a quote or affirmation page I started following that said there, I want to do everything. As a remember, even though you want to do everything, you can't do everything all at once.
All at once, yeah.
So just literally having patience, and as long as you keep at it little by little, whatever that is, and from health, decluttering, eating habits, anything, just take it literally day by day. If you're doing good a whole week and then you screw up a week, then you know what, just start over again.
Yeah.
If you're doing good 2 days and then 1 day bad, that's still better. It's like literally just take it day by day. And if you don't feel like doing it that day, like you truly don't feel like doing it, then just don't do it, because you're just gonna do it without the want to do it,
Yeah.
like without the the
you're gonna less than half-ass it and then just not do it right.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way of thinking, because for us, actually, yes, because yesterday I didn't half-ass it, but I didn't want to go to the gym, but I was there, and it's like, okay, might as well. I could have. The hour went by so quickly, and it's like, I'm glad I did it. And when I was so close to just telling people, when let's go, let's turn around, I just didn't feel like it. But once I was there, it changed. I think I would have. I mean, once towards the end, it changed, I guess. But I'm glad I did it. But I think there's a lot of times where it's been like, oh, I don't want to do this. So it's like, and not just
the weather
just
doesn't help
and
either.
Everything. Yeah, it was the weather yesterday that
Definitely
I didn't
was
want to go.
the weather. Yeah.
But I think we've been pretty good, and I hope the new year has been treating you guys.
Somebody said at the
positively.
gym during the sauna, some men were talking, and somebody said like, "Oh, I'm surprised there's not more people here at the beginning of the year. It's the beginning of the year." Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
The guy, then it's like, you know what? You're kind of right, because I feel like that's how it started off this year, the January already. Some guy mentioned it's probably gonna happen towards the end of the month, because some people are still quote unquote hungover from last year. And I feel like that's how this year started, kind of a little fuzzy, a little, we had plans that on the first we would do this, and then, like literally we just Eric took down the Christmas decor yesterday.
Yesterday and today.
And that was supposed to be done like a week ago, but it's okay, because, we
Things
started off a little
happens.
bumpy, and that's fine as long as it's getting done, and it's not June and we still have the Christmas stuff
Oh my
up.
God, yeah.
Yeah, and then we just have, for sure, like I told her, we're just going to need to narrow it in, doing one thing at a time. Like we're going to just focus on this one spot, and that's it.
And I think our main spot right now is going to be our living space area, mainly focusing on the kitchen, because we've said it so many times, we want to work on that kitchen, and I think this is a right time to start it. And I think it'll be a good change for us, and we're going to bring you guys along on that too. So we will declutter, we will, take all of that from the kitchen and, get rid of some stuff, because I do want to give it a whole makeover. So I'm excited for that. And
If something isn't being used and there's no more purpose, then just give it away. Give it
don't
away,
give me
sell
away.
it.
I still have a purpose.
That's the way, that's what I'm trying to tell my baby, because he likes to hold on to his clothes and other stuff. So
Yeah,
it's like,
I do.
if you don't use in general.
But I did tell him that there's a lot. I was going through my closet, and there's a lot of things that I want to say 80% of my stuff I'm getting rid of, because I go through it and it's like, I'm not gonna wear it. I'm not gonna wear it. I'm not gonna.
I'm
wear
gonna
it.
be
I'm not gonna
behind
wear
him
it.
with a
I'm not gonna
trash
wear it.
bag and be like, "Come on, Where's all this clothes?
We're having a garage sale in 2 weeks, so
Yeah.
we're gonna work on that. That's where it's going. But I just want to, because I want a new wardrobe.
I mean, if that's the motivation, I don't care. As
But-
long as like it's, not over. Like right now, I feel both of us. I've done more decluttering than he has as far as the wardrobe, but there's still a lot that I need to take out. And then we found some bags and that we can like put our winter clothes in there.
Yeah.
To kind of save our space. But just as a whole, we need to get rid of more things.
Get rid of stuff.
We've become not hoarders, but we've become just lacking.
I don't think we're hoarders.
No.
It's like, imagine if we were. We have hoarder tendencies, but we're not hoarders.
I would not be a happy camper.
No. The thing is that we buy things and then we forget we buy them and then we buy them again. And then the good thing now that we realize things early on. So it's like, okay, shoot, I already have that. Let's return it. And then now we've mentioned this before that we both collect toys, and sometimes we'll buy two of the same one where we can open, and then the other where we can keep in the box. But we're gonna stop doing that because Pete's been selling stuff from Mercari, and then I've noticed that stuff that I've bought him, and it's like, oh, you're selling it, and it's like, oh, because he already had two, so it's like, okay, yeah, there's no point in getting two if you're gonna end up selling it anyway. So we're not gonna do that. Neither one of us. We're just stick to one. You open it, keep it in the box, but we're only getting one thing. And I think that's more the only part where I feel we're in the hoarder tendency area, because everything else in the house is, I mean, to me, it's like we can get rid of anything or everything. But it's just in those situations where it's like, okay, yeah, well, this needs to change and we need to stop that. And we are, I think we're, at least I feel like I'm doing pretty good. I don't know about him. I don't know how he feels.
Whatever. I've been selling all this stuff. And thank God I'm a Kari. So
It's
it's like literally digging out. It's been carving out stuff out of my office, which is awesome.
And I'm still trying to convince him to take me to dinner with his Mercari money. But I think that was actually that's actually it for today. I hope this wasn't like a somber episode, because nonetheless, it's a happy life. I mean, we're pretty happy with where we're going as far as things are. Obviously, some sad things have happened in the past few weeks, but like everybody says, like kind of life goes on. And
I think that's the hard part for anybody who has gone through a loss of any shape, way, or form.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, you'll get to a point where you will move on with your life. And nobody can tell you how soon that's going to happen, when it's going to happen. It's just kind of one day you'll realize, you know what, I think I'm ready to hang up this coat in my closet, put it away, and start off fresh.
Yeah.
And just move on and just think about it. Just because you're moving on doesn't mean you're forgetting that person. Doesn't mean you're being disrespectful. Doesn't mean you haven't mourned them. It just, little by little, you need to learn. You'll learn, not you need to, but you'll learn that all the sadness will go away and you just keep the happy memories. And periodically you'll go through your moments where you'll remember them and be sad, and that's totally fine. But
and it's understandable.
Yes, correct. And I also don't think it's, personally, I don't think it's healthy to stay in that mindset for too long, because it just you'll just dwell in that and it'll eat you up eventually. I speak from personal experience for my depression or whatever, but that goes across the board for anything. I just think it's, don't feel guilty. I feel like that's the number one thing. You feel like you're being disrespectful because you decided to go out and have a drink or have a dinner or go to a wedding or whatever, no, there's no right way to mourn. There's no right time to move on. It's just if you feel like, you are ready, then do it. And if you're not, then don't. But, also don't punish yourself from living your life.
Yeah, I would say for living your life. And with that said, thank you guys so much for watching if you've stuck around. And if you have stuck around, make sure you guys put those little mics in the end. Let us know in the comments below what other topics you guys would like us to talk about. And
We're starting out the year again, guys. So
Yes.
we'll be back to our regular schedule. That's a guarantee.
Friday.
Every Friday for sure.
Yeah, but
We almost missed this week.
we almost missed this weekend.
It's just been a little crazy, but we're like, let's don't know.
Yeah,
Let's
this
go.
episode is actually going to go up a little later than usual, but I mean, it's going up today.
Regardless.
But nonetheless, we will talk to you guys soon. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and check out all of our vlogs and check out soon. Hopefully, I'll be getting my Botox. And
I was like, what? I thought you were pointing down at something. Like, what's going on?
My
Little
Botox.
heart. And also have a good new year.
Yeah.
Just, make healthy, better choices.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Stay healthy. Stay
happy.
And I hope you guys have the day you deserve. Bye.
Bye, guys.